I secretly despise my best friend. Long story. So I've had this friend, call her N. I've known N for about 10 years now. N was always out of my league, but I've had feelings towards her for about 9 years despite the fact she was out of my league, and I thought pure chivalry would win her over. We were best friends for like 4 years after we first met in school, around when we were 7. When we were in the 5th grade, people found out about my feelings and it spread like wildfire. By the next week everyone knew. The bullying went up to a next level, even N just switched sides, and started constantly bullying me, which hurt like 1,000 stabs in the back. Around that time I also started being abused by my older brother and parents, so the fact I had no friends made it worse. So because of all those events, N was the reason I got depression. A year later, in the 6th grade, went to the hospital to get my long-lasting chest pain checked. When I heard my phone ring, N texted me saying, "I saw you going to the hospital, good, it's where you belong." I was crying. I came out of the hospital diagnosed with cardiomegaly. Not so long after that I was diagnosed with bipolar II disorder. I didn't tell anyone from my school, not even her. N would constantly call it attention-seeking phases. I told her about it only 2 years later, in the 8th grade. Even then N didn't take it seriously. Sometimes N would even group up with the bully groups and force me to tell them I loved her in front of them, which caused a lot of beat-ups. The abusing at home, abusing at school, caused my first of many suicide attempts. N didn't care. She was all I could think about during what I thought would be my last moments. After those long hellish 8 years of elementary school I became a wiser, stronger, quitter and a sarcastic person. But my depression is still here. After 10 years, I'm 17 now, and my self-esteem is inside the earth's core, and N really made me hate myself for what I am, different. Her first words of high school to me were, "I'm so glad I don't have to look at you for another 8 years, because we go to the school but different class." I felt devastated but free at the same time. Then, a few months later, N shows up at my doorstep, crying with bruised and bloody wrists. She started having problems with her friends from elementary school, her parents' divorce and everything, and she spent hours apologizing to me, saying she understands now. I spent hours comforting her whilst I treated her cuts. For the next 6 months or so we would constantly go out, bond as much as we could. N sometimes refers to me as her brother, even though sometimes she hints at something more. But when she is pressured by her peers, she would deny the fact of me being her brother by saying, "God forbid," or something like that, but I couldn't tell her to F***ck off because I'm not like that. Now, she made me promise not to let my depression win. She made me promise to stay alive. But she doesn't move a finger to comfort me, unlike me that spends hours and hours comforting her every time something goes wrong, because I don't want her to feel how I'm feeling for so long now. It feels like she doesn't care, but still, I do. And when I see her outside, when we go outside, I feel an explosion of feelings in my heart, and I feel so much hate, I feel agitated, I snap really easily, and sometimes I had nightmares of me murdering her. I feel love and pure hatred at the same time. Sorry for the long post, but the backstory is necessary.
What was your reaction to this story? Comment below about what type of drama you'd like to see next.